Hey guys, this is Rob. I'm here at Masters of Trade with my deck. I'm running Herald of Perfection. So let's break this down for you. Alright, in my deck I'm running 3 Herald because he's the namesake of the deck. Whenever you have a fairy in hand, you can discard it and negate a spell, a trap, or an effect monster effect and destroy it. His effect's unique because it can stop counter traps since it's a continuous effect, or at least that's what I've been told. It stops hand traps, and it's just all around great. Veiler, negate. Bottomless, negate. The only way to get around this guy is to negate his summon in the first place. So we've got him. Next part I run, 3 Manju of the 10,000 Hands, and he is such a good card. He's MVP of this deck when I'm not running anything else. Just Manju comes out and he searches for a ritual spell or a ritual monster. So whatever you're lacking in your deck, he can go and get. He's such a good card for this. The next card I'm running, this is kind of tech. I'm running Sonic Bird because I wanted more ways to search, more ways to be consistent. When I go to side, he'll be the first thing I side out, but he's definitely something that helps, and I've been first turn Sonic Bird, go into Herald. He's so good, and he doesn't stop anything in your graveyard. Next card I'm running, 2 Archlord Christia. I wish I could run 3, I really do, but there's been so many situations where I've had 4 fairies in the graveyard. You're ditching them with Herald, you're running so many ways, you just get so many fairies in the graveyard. Archlord is a must, and she shuts down decks left and right. Chaos Dragons cries at this. Next, I'm going to go over my Agent Engine. I'm running Triple Master Hyperion. There have been a lot of times where someone's like, BLS, run over your Herald, and that's a big problem. So I need some out to Blackluster Soldier or any of the big beaters. We have an X-Saber guy here. He gets rid of Gotems. Just, you need some out to the big guys that'll run over your Herald. So Hyperion's in the deck. I'm running 1 Agent of Earth because she'll just replace herself in hand. She's really useful. Run double Agent of Miracle because, I mean, you get a beater, you can remove an agent to boost your guys' attacks. It takes a couple people by surprise, and it's actually won me a few games. And then I run triple Agent of Creation because I really like to go into Gachi in this deck. I mean, he makes your Herald indestructible almost. So that is my Agent Engine. Next I run 2 Heralds of Orange Light because if I don't have Herald of Perfection on the field, I've got to have some way to stop effects in this format, and I can't run Effect Veiler in this deck because for some reason he's not a fairy. So I run the double Herald of Orange Light, ditch him and another fairy. It makes its way towards Christia, and he's a tuner, so he can go into some of the extra deck things. And then I run the 1-up Honest. You will not believe how many times I'll top deck this and run into something just to drop Honest and make him really sad. People at the store are starting to hate Honest, and that's got to be why. Now for my normal monster lineup. Since this is a ritual deck, I'm running some normal monsters, and you'll see why in just a bit. I'm running Megami, the 6-star fairy, because she's just drop off her, go into Herald of Perfection for 1 card. It's really good, and if she's in your hand, you know, she's a way to tribute some things on the field if you're trying to clear room. She's just all around. She's one of the better normals that I'm running for this. I'm running triple Mystic Shine Ball because I'm running the triple Agent of Creation. The Shine Ball just, it's hilarious to be like, okay, go into triple Shine Ball, attack, 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 go into Gachi. I've done it before, it's really funny. People thought I was running Mystic Shine Ball Beatdown. It's pretty funny. And then I'm running 1 Spirit of the Heart, and it's a little tech. I'll show the combo off a little bit later in the profile, but I run her, and the basic idea is I'm going to be ditching these 2 for a Herald. Now let's move on to the spell lineup. I run the 1 Advanced Ritual Art. It's limited for a good reason. You send normal monsters from your deck to your graveyard to get out your ritual monster. And, I mean, there could not be a better way to get out a ritual monster. I don't have to have anything in my hand. It could be all spells and then Herald, and I can still get them out. There is no downside to using this unless you have every normal monster in your hand, and that's so hard to do in this. I also run one Dawn of the Herald for the odd situation where they are in my hand, and I can't get to an ARA. So Dawn of the Herald's really good, and when you use it, you can banish the fairies to bring it back to your hand. So later you can bluff it as a trap, you can bluff it as, you know, a Book of Moon, and if you have more than 4 fairies in your graveyard afterwards, you can banish the one you used and still be able to go into Christia. Next I run 3 Preparation of Rites. It's a really good card. It hunts down a ritual monster from your deck and returns a ritual spell from your graveyard. And, I mean, I've bluffed people into going, you know, double Herald, triple Herald. People have been like, are you really going to do that? No, not really. I'm just hunting it out because I like to use the Heralds for discard fodder. Next, here's the big piece. I use Dark Factory of Mass Production. Since I'm running so many normal monsters, I use the Advanced Ritual Art, ditch these 2 to the graveyard, play this, and I've got 2 cards in hand as fodder for negation. It's such a good combo play. I've had people scoop to just doing that. It's really fun to do. Next run, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm. I mean, they're staples. I wish I could run a Dark Hole, but really you've got the field presence in this deck that you don't need to run Dark Hole. I run triple Pot of Duality, and you may be saying, oh my god, what are you doing? Pot of Duality, you have to special get your Herald. But it really helps the consistency, and a lot of times you open up and you can afford to wait 1 turn to do your Herald. But I mean, I've Pot of Dualitied into things I really, really need. And then once you've got Christie on the field, you can't special summon anyway. You may as well do something in that time. And now for the last 2 cards in the deck, I run Bottomless Trap Hole. I'm thinking about siding this out, or just changing it in main deck in general, because it doesn't do a lot for me right now, but originally I had it in there to stop the big guys coming down before I could get a Herald out. Let's move on to the extra deck now. Okay, for the extra deck, I run 2 Gachi Gachi Gantetsu. I mean, you're running Mystic Shineball in this deck, there's no real reason to not go into him. He makes all your guys stronger, he makes Heralds so hard to run over, 3200 defense, there's not a lot that can beat that. And, I mean, with the negation power, having him on the field already, it's really tough to get around. I run 1 Shining Elf, though I'd like to run Dark Mist, but Shining Elf's actually done some work for me. You can detach whenever they normal or special summon, whenever your opponent does, and it'll lose 500 attack permanently. So, I mean, getting something 2200 down to 1700 just makes them so much easier to deal with, though I will turn him into a Dark Mist as soon as I get the card. I run 1 Leviathan Dragon, and I mean, he's decent if I've got dead Venuses on the field. You know, I went through all my Shine Balls, I can't really do anything else with them. Go into Leviathan, may as well give him some purpose, right? Next, I'm running 1 Photon Papilloperative, and it is a great card.
Love that card.
Set something down in defense, and it switches to attack and lose 600 attack. Photon Papilloperative comes out of nowhere, uses all these spent Manjus and spent Sonic Birds, and just, he uses everything that I don't have any more use for, and turns it into something awesome. I'm also running 2 Utopia, the King of Reprints, because I still need something to do with 4 stars once I'm, you know, once I've used their effects. They've got nothing left to do, why not turn them into a bigger beater? Stops attacks, he did more negation. I mean, it just really pisses people off to be like, have a 3000 attack out, attack, negate. Next, I'm running this tech card, Gravity Warrior. Now, a lot of people don't really know what he does, but when Six Samurai spams the field, or when, you know, when something runs everything out and has a huge field advantage on you. Gravity Warrior, he gains 300 attack for every face-up monster your opponent controls. Now picture going into him, they see 2100, they aren't threatened. His effect activates when they've got 5 on the field. He suddenly becomes this massive thing to deal with. The next card I'm running is a Flambel Urachizas, if I'm pronouncing that right. I needed something to pierce, go through Marshmallon, Spirit Reaper, anything that's really annoying in defense, and he just gets bigger. He's a big snowball card. There's so many problems that he gets over. I'm running a Bryonic. Obviously, just discard, bounce things. If I don't have Herald out, he's the thing I'm going to pitch my fairies for and turbo into Christia, because I mean, you get so much field control with him, or with him and Herald on the field, that it's insane. I'm running one Gaianite Force of Earth, and just because I go into 6 stars so easily in this deck, I needed to run him. He's a big beater. That's pretty much all he does. He's not special, but he's big. I run one Stardust Dragon. I mean, Stardust, people overlook him in this format. They say synchros are dead. Stardust negates the destruction effect. Someone want, you know, if I don't have a fairy to pitch for Herald for whatever reason, Stardust will negate it. Next I run Blackwing Dragon, and I have got so many what the fuck faces from this, but Blackwing Dragon, I was playing in a free tournament on Monday at Masters. Definitely should check it out if you're in the area. But I was playing a free tournament, and this guy whips out his burn deck on me. So I immediately go Megami and Herald into Blackwing Dragon, and he drops his head in shame and scooped immediately because he couldn't get over the Blackwing Dragon and all the burn effects. And worst comes to worst, you have a 2800 beater. I mean, he's useful. I've definitely gone into him. And finally, I've got Colossal Fighter. He, 2800 beater, brings himself back from the graveyard again and again and again. Just, he's a really good way to lock down a defense when you need it the most. So, that's my Herald of Perfection deck. I hope you guys try it out and go and tell people no.